We're now here for an exclusive interview with the attorney for Casey Anthony's parents, Mark Lippman. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We know they are facing death threats right now. How are they holding up?
They're holding well. Obviously, there's some concern, but the Orange County Sheriff's Office is doing their job very well, and they're being protected.
And we saw no reaction whatsoever from George and Cindy Anthony yesterday as that verdict was read. Were they surprised?
I think they were shocked that it came back not guilty, but you can never tell what a jury's going to do, and they were expecting anything.
Shocked because they don't believe their daughter is innocent?
No, shocked just that the jury didn't find any sort of evidence against her, and even though the state did a fantastic job, the defense came through with defending their client as they predicted.
Well, what do they believe? Do they believe?
Well, unfortunately, those are some things I can't discuss because of attorney-client privilege. But they don't. The things that the defense said, certainly they don't believe my client, George Anthony and Lee Anthony, never molested her. Certainly, George had nothing to do with moving the body, and the rest of the things that the defense said about my clients in particular never happened.
All not true, but and they did say the defense was baseless, yet the verdict was fair. How do you square those two things?
As an attorney, we have to look at the facts as they were presented, and unfortunately, it just didn't tie together. I think even if you took my clients out of the equation and you just looked at the evidence that they had from the scientific point of view, it just didn't tie together for the jury.
Have they spoken to Casey?
No, not yet.
Do they expect to?
At some point, I imagine, yes.
Do you know when?
No, I don't.
And I guess that gets to really one of the most difficult questions coming out of this verdict right now. You saw a family torn apart during that trial. These charges made by Casey Anthony's defense against her own parents. How do you put this family back together?
Well, it's like a one-step or 12-step program. It's one day at a time. Hopefully they can start to rebuild their lives. Their lives will never be the same. This case has destroyed everybody's reputation. Even if it's baseless, there's people out there that are going to believe no matter what I say or they say for the rest of their lives, they're going to believe whatever the defense told them. And unfortunately, that's just the way society treats them.
Have they reached out to Casey in any way?
Prior to the trial, they had reached out. During the trial, they were not allowed to reach out to her. From where we go from here, unfortunately, I can't discuss all that stuff either.
But you do expect them to come to speak at some point?
At some point, yes.
And finally, we don't want to lose sight, of course, of Kaylee.
Correct, and that's what this case is all about. Unfortunately, the truth, there was a slim chance that we were hoping to get some sliver of truth during this trial, and that would have been by testimony from Casey, but certainly she didn't have to testify. It's her constitutional right not to testify, and hopefully one day she'll tell her story, but who knows what to believe. Even
Do George and Cindy want to ask Casey what happened?
Of course. Everybody wants the truth, and who knows if it'll ever come out.
Okay, Mark Lippman, thanks very much for your time this morning.
I appreciate it.